Just being honest here, I was busy working on my first Space Marines 2 video. Watch for that one very soon, hopefully later today, if I could squeeze it back into the schedule. F my free time. And the reason for the delay? Well, Johan has been posting up a storm on the official Helldivers 2 Discord, and I've been reading some of these responses, and there is a lot you will want to hear about. Welcome to the channel. This is LtBuzzLitebeer, and this one's just going to be raw, rough, and uncut. No time for a script today, but it's valuable information divers will want to know about. And so, here it all is. Remember to hit subscribe and to ring that notifications bell to receive my latest upload alerts. And who wants the Autocannon and AMR to be effective versus the Chargers? Oops, bit of a spoiler there, but here's the latest from the land of Helldivers. So a bit of a disclaimer for you up front. Again, this video is completely unscripted. Normally I would have background footage, I would have examples, I would have slides. There would be production value to what I was pushing out onto YouTube. And again, just being upfront and honest, today I have none of that. You're just gonna see these comments up on screen and just me kind of reading through them and giving my honest opinions about them. So this all starts off with Johan as of, what does it say, 10:12 this morning. This is his very first comment. It says, so, a quick update. I've been working closely with the team to look at the game experience, balanced mostly with the team. We are confident in the update that we are creating that will see a significant, listen to this, meta shift and bring the game into a state where the playfulness takes the front seat and challenge is secondary. Again, I've commented on this in many of my previous videos. I've read many of your comments in many of my previous videos that the game at launch was just this wild, chaotic, psychotic horde-style shooter. It was fun. It was mass carnage. We had a great time with it. And then after patch after patch after patch, slowly that fun has been eroded, and it became more like this Milsim Tarkov in space type shooter, and we were a little bit confused. Well, here he's saying we're going to get back to the playfulness. Once again, I'm skeptical because we've heard this from Arrowhead in the past. They've made these bold statements. Yes, we agree with you. Yes, the fun is being zapped out. Yes, assault rifles need buffs. And then the next big balance patch arrives and we get nerfs. Anyways, continue on. He says, I have had a good time with the experience shift. So to me, that says they've already got kind of the base experience set up in the game engine and they're experimenting with it right now. He's saying he likes it. And it is closer to the original intent of the game and what it was at launch. Johan's statement was then immediately quoted and countered by this Discord member. They said, I don't mean to be rude, but saying that this update brings the game back to what the original vision was does not instill confidence whatsoever. Thank you. I think that perfectly summarizes what so much of the player base is feeling right now. We've seen all this talk of agreement with us pushing back on the changes. We've seen Johan and Shams Georgiani talk about, yeah, we agree that assault rifles need to be buffed. This needs to be stronger. That needs to be stronger. Fun needs to be a priority. Time to kill is too high. And then the next patch arrives, and what happens? Even more player power is reduced, even more nerfs are instilled, just odd changes. Those two things have not been coinciding, and clearly this Discord member is, you guys, voicing their frustrations with it. The double talk. They go on and they say, considering that's what was told to us when a lot of players disagreed with balance changes and patches since release. Johan then responds back to that quote and the comment from the Discord member, and he says, thank you. It's a good point of view. Again, in agreement with us. I want to see the changes before I applaud them. Come on, Arrowhead. Surprise me. He says, we have seen internally that there has been a shift in what that is. Balance and nerfing and buffing are elements that during the majority of development we avoided. We focused on making an experience that made sense. After launch, I think the discussion of metadata informed and balanced took the overhand and replaced our focus on creating a fun, playful, and fantasy-driven experience. I would love to be a fly on the wall for that. I would love to know what the X's and O's were going on there at the studio. I would love to be able to put names with faces and be able to say this person pushed this through, this person was advocating for that. I'd really love to be able to see that. Johan then responds to a message, unfortunately, that cannot be loaded. Who knows, maybe the OP deleted their comment when they realized it was responded to. Maybe a mod deleted it. I couldn't tell you. But Johan says, in my view, too late. Maybe this person was asking or venting about all the stability and bugs and those type of issues that are installed into the game when a new update hits. It's not a very stable experience. He continues on, but we are doubling down on QA this time around to not F it up. Maybe they got some new QA testers. I couldn't tell you. A good update with stability issues is a bad update. Agreed. Then again, a stable update with bad changes is the same. Double agreement there. We need to do good on both parts. Yeah, so not much information there, but I guess he's agreeing with the community once again. And once again, I'm going to say, once I see the changes, I will believe the changes. Until then, it's all grammar, it's all text, it's all just hot air. Unfortunately, this next comment is not directed specifically at any one comment here on the Discord, so I don't know really what brought it on, but Johan says, sorry everyone, I can't keep up. But the new update, and listen to this, this is where we start to get some particulars here, we'll see the Autocannon and AMR be effective against chargers. Let me say that again. The new update will see the Autocannon and AMR be effective against chargers. So in the past, we had the Railgun that was taken away. In the past, or just recently, we had the flamethrower that was taken away in the name of realism. So apparently in this next update, and we don't have an ETA on this update, the autocannon, that's going to be the autocannon rifle, I assume. He doesn't say it in there, but the autocannon sentry right now is effective versus chargers unless they run it over. Anyways, the autocannon rifle and AMR, anti-material rifle, will be effective against chargers. I wonder how that's going to be accomplished, but my gut feeling is they're going to up the armor pin on both the autocannon rifle and AMR so that they can pierce the heavy armor on the chargers so we can shred it off and get to the fleshy, meaty parts underneath that can be effectively chewed up and destroyed with even just the small primary weapons. Here is a major one. Check this out, divers. The question is, do Bile Titans finally take damage to the head? Johan's response, yes. And the entire belly is susceptible to small arms fire. Again, I want to see this one in action. I'm known when I rock the Ensign Breaker on bugs, I will run up under Bile Titans and absolutely smoke those bright fleshy parts on their undersides, just to especially get rid of the bile spewer capabilities. But if the entire belly is now susceptible to small arms fire, that means not only when we blast it away, but we can actually continue to do harm by shooting them in the belly. That, in my mind, is a really strong change. And the fact that Bile Titan's actually taking damage to the head, that's a double win right there. Again, I want to see it in form. I want to see it I want to see it in function. Right now, it's just words, it's just form. But if both of those can happen in this next update, yeah, double W there for Arrowhead. Helldivers content creator Thick Fillet then post a comment to Johan. He says, some major bugs that are hurting the experience that are not balancing changes. -1 damage to all guns immediately, messing with breakpoints, Bile Titan heads, sometimes not taking damage, automatons shooting through walls, multiple instances of enemy weapons spawning inside of each other, barrager tanks ruining rocket defense missions the moment they spawn, definitely on that one, rocket striders having barrager missiles that ragdoll you by flying past you, they don't even need to hit you. Now, Johan took the time to respond to just a little bit of this. He says, we are not working with breakpoints anymore. The experience needs to be more of a gradient. We will do another update when we get feedback on this first patch. Another question for the community says, has the team considered turning the Charger's bulbous spot, that's what many people call the weak spot on the back of the Charger, even though it's technically not a weak spot, semantics there, into one that can be killed off with primaries with more ease. I understand wanting us to rely more on stratagems, but as things stand, primaries don't feel satisfying to use in most cases due to how niche or outclassed most of them are. Johan, again, responds to this one, yes, you can destroy it rather quickly now. So apparently they are nerfing the backside of a charger so that even primaries can wipe these things off. And of course, the chargers just bleed out, if not immediately die, once you take their backsides off. So if that happens, along with those previously announced changes to the Bile Titans, that could be a strong 1-2 change for the bugs, meaning our primaries would be much more effective. This next comment here is a little bit comedic. They say, all I have to say is please, please, anytime any of your devs mention the word balancing, just pistol whip them and send them home for the day with no pay. Let's make this game fun again. I don't care if my squad is all breaker incendiaries as long as we are tearing up things. Johan responds to this one. This is my general belief when it comes to balance. It takes the edge of games and makes it a bland experience. I have failed to reinforce this internally. Things should not be OP or UP, but that's it. Here's a comment aimed at the Railcannon. This member asks, is there anything about the Railgun? Johan responds, higher risk reward, but closer to release in effectiveness. Interesting, but we know it's a fan favorite, so we are treading carefully. That could be interesting if we could also get the Railgun somewhat close to what it was at launch with the game. There's another possible strong strat weapon we can throw in there that's going to be effective versus heavy armor enemies. I definitely like the sound of that one as well. Another comment here, you also mentioned making the AMR more effective against chargers, and is there any new update on the issue where you shoot below the crosshairs in ADS, which happens a lot with a lot of the weapons? Johan does respond to this. Yes, I've heard that crosshairs are fixed. Listen to this, across the board, not just some of the weapons, not just these weapons over here. He's heard that crosshairs are fixed across the board, but wait for official info. Also, to everyone, I am expressing my point of view. We are a studio of 100+, which means our crafted and official messages takes priority over what I say. So, if there's ever a contraction, the public one is right. Just don't change anything that you've been saying in here. Make those changes, Johan, please. This sounds like we're getting back to a world of Helldivers 1.0, which for me was a lot more fun than what we currently have. So yeah, I really look forward to that. But crosshairs, especially like the AMR, when I'm aiming at hulks and they're bobbing up and down on the terrain, it makes it super difficult when you have to aim above their eye hole to actually hit them. It looks like Thick Fillet is back with another one that Johan has responded to. Thick Fillet says, when's this update coming though? Johan says, Valve soon, TM. I think he's saying to my knowledge or something like that. So maybe tomorrow? I don't know what TM means, but apparently this update is coming soon. A big source of contention with the community is, of course, ragdolling. This comment again says, any news regarding ragdolling? I know that a small patch reduced the AoE size of ragdolls on some enemies, but every enemy that was released since post-release can still ragdoll quite hard. Johan responds to this, and this has a bit more information too. Listen to this one. Less rockets that hit worse against bots. Also, the rocket collision was 0.5 meters large. It is now 0.1 meters large. Also made rocket devastators run out of ammo and blow their load quickly. Wow, so a lot there. So overall explosion radius on rockets greatly reduced from half a meter, it says 0.5 meters, to 0.1 meter. And they also made it so the rocket devs run out of ammo and they just apparently just fire them off very quickly. Wow, that is a monster change versus the bots. There was also some sort of question from the community about the mechs. Johan responds, agree with mechs, but not for this next patch. There was also a question about the 500 kgs being inconsistent. Johan says 500 kg is in the next patch, and then he puts a goat symbol. And then finally, yeah, we definitely need to follow the wise words of this Discord member. They said, y'all are chugging the hype train too early when all he did was talk. Like I've been saying, right now it's all just hot air. I want to see it in function, not just words. He says, I'll believe the updates when I see it. Johan took the time to respond to this, and this is our last comment. I promise this guy gets it. Don't be overly hyped based on my beam spill. It's too easy to get disappointed. The proof is in the pudding. Wise words, Johan. Wise words for Arrowhead. Prove us all wrong. Prove to us you know how to get back to Helldivers 1.0. As you said, the proof is in the pudding. That's it for today. Make sure to leave me some feedback about any of these comments and or responses, and I apologize, no time for top 3 comments today. I guess we'll just double it up in the next one. Remember to hit subscribe and to ring that notifications bell to receive my latest upload alerts. All my socials can be found down in the video description. Shout out to the nearly 242,000 of you legends from across the globe who have taken the time to hit subscribe. You tune in daily, you support me and the channel, and I'm eternally grateful for that. Thank you. Until the next one, this is LtBuzzLitebeer signing off.